365 days a year. We pretty much go through the card. And by the card, I mean all the games that are being played today. We generally don't do sports that we don't know, like soccer or something like that. But if sometimes we do, and we hope to add that to the show as well. But anyways, we've got 2 NFL games that were canceled, but still leaves us a dozen games here. And of course, we've got a NASCAR race, so that means Jeter's here, and we also have Game 3 of the NBA Finals. So, a lot of good action coming off of a pretty fun day in college football yesterday. I tell you what, it started really well for me. It ended poorly, but that's the nature of the beast. And of course, I was done in by a Ruffalo. Anyways, let's bring in the guys. We got Brian Bittler, we've got Rod Zawacki, and we've got Chris Ruffalo with us. Ironic that the kicker at Kentucky that missed that extra points last name was Ruffalo. I don't think so. Anyways, Brian, you look like you're either sleeping or you got a jacket on or something. What's going on there, Grandpa?
Oh, I'm all right. I had 7 beers last night, which is a little bit too much for me, but I had a good night. Enjoyed college football immensely yesterday. Very good.
What do you have going on today at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Experts?
Well, off a 2-0 Friday, a 5-0 Saturday. I'm ready to keep the sweeps keep coming. I have 2 options for guys out there. They can get my $29.95 NFL blank check. It's my favorite play of the day, or my 3 NFL plays all together for $50. And really, they're all pretty close to being top. I love this card today. Go on and get it, guys.
Chris, what do you got going on today?
Well, unlike the Ruffalo yesterday, with no relation, mind you, I won't miss the mark today. I'm telling you, I got
how in the hell do you miss the extra point in that spot?
I wish I could tell you.
Something like that happens
yesterday. I'm going to take
the rest of the day goes south. The rest of the day just goes south, right?
It does, yeah. I got 3 of the 1 o'clock games as a package. I got the 3 of the 4 o'clock to 4:25 starts as a package in the premium, or you get all 6 games as my 6+1 pack. I threw in the bonus NBA pick in there, all in one package over at the website.
And Rod, what do you got going on?
For me today, I got the Super NFL Sunday and 1 package. I got 4 1 o'clock start games in the NFL. I've got 1 3:30 Eastern game, or the 4 o'clock Eastern game, the ones in the afternoon, and then I've got 1 night NFL winner and 1 winner in the NBA. So then you get all 7 picks at the website, $34.95.
All right. Sounds like a lot of action. I got 5 of the early games, and then I have a 3-pack that has one of the later NFL games, the NBA game, and the Sunday Night Football game. Probably after that game goes off, I'll break it out into the other ones. And then, of course, I'll be live halftime of the early NFL games. Maybe I'll get one of these guys to come with me. I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. But the way this format of the show is going to work today is we're going to do the NBA game. Then we're going to bring Jeter in, quickly cover NASCAR, and then come back and do the NFL card. So that's what you guys have in store. So we kick it off with the NBA. It's Game 3. This line opened at 10, quickly dropped to 8.5. It was 9.5 last night, and that's where it is now. So somewhere between 10 and 8.5 is where the number seems to be for this game. My guess is closer to tip. It's going to be the higher side of this. And it could even bust through that 10 number.
What time is the tip, Mitch?
The tip is at 7:30 Eastern time. So right in between the afternoon NFL games, which we have a few of them today. It's not one of those, where you have 2 of them. I think we have 4 of them. And then, in between the Sunday night game, which the Eagles and 49ers, I think is something that, we could sit that one out, if we didn't really feel like watching it.
I think the NBA is lucky that they have a crappy Sunday night game, because I really wouldn't have any interest in the NBA. But maybe tonight with that crappy Eagles game, maybe I'll tune in.
All right. What do you think of tonight's NBA game? We got the Heat and the Lakers. The public seems to be pretty heavy here on the Miami Heat. But the line are bouncing back the other way.
Who are you starting off with? Me?
Yeah, it's you're
all right, yeah. What I'm going to do
generally
here,
go in this direction.
It's
like how many
to
months?
Keep myself interested.
How many shows have we
$50 on.
How many shows have we done? I mean,
sometimes you start with Chris, sometimes you start with Rod. I don't know. But anyway, I'll go
you want to go first?
Here on the Heat.
You want to go first? We'll just talk right over him. What do you want to do?
Okay.
All right, let's go with Rod. Since Brian just doesn't want to talk about it. Go ahead, Rod.
Lakers at -9.5 is what I'd be taking this game. The Heat with all these injuries, sure, they close and got a cover, but they got the cover on a +10. And right now it's looking at -9. I think they're win by double digits here. They're not going to take their foot off the gas. They want to go get this. They want the title. They can smell it.
Chris, how about you?
I'm going to take the Heat and the points. I think Miami knows they're up against it. if they go down 3-0, and we saw some resiliency with all the injuries last time out, and I think if the Heat are going to steal a game, it's probably this one. So I'll take on Miami plus the points.
And Brian.
Not going big, but I'm going to put 25 on the Heat money line and 25 on the Heat plus the points. I just can't believe the NBA is going to allow a sweep here. I would think the refs are going to be calling everything they can against the Lakers tonight, but we'll see. Just a little bit.
I like the Heat. I like the Heat here too. I think I'm going to put a little on the money line myself. Jimmy Butler seemed pretty determined that he wasn't going to let this happen. So, and like Brian said, the NBA, I think it's a little different because I think they're ready to leave the bubble. I think they're ready to go. So it's that's a different, it's a different piece of it. Plus, it's like the NBA still has a lot of unfinished business, outside of this series. They still haven't had the draft yet.
And the free agency period.
Yeah, they haven't had the draft. They haven't had free agency, and they haven't even decided when next season's going to start. So, they got a lot of work to do, and at least we have the guy in there that knows how to get it done. So it's like, once again, Adam Silver showing why he's the best commissioner in all of sports. I like the Heat here on the money line. But speaking about turning up the Heat, we're going to bring in Jeter. We're going to do a quick NASCAR segment, and then we're going to segue right into the NFL. We'll be back with a second, guys. Jeter, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Mitch. How we doing out there today?
Good. That's supposed to be my question, but we're doing good over here in Hawaii. But anyways, we've had a pretty good weekend so far at Talladega, just pretty much wall-to-wall racing. What time are they going today, and what is the race, and is there anybody, that we think we can make some money on?
There you go. That's right. And so we're back at Talladega for NASCAR Cup Series this afternoon at 2:00 over on NBC. We're racing the Yellowwood 500, 188 laps around Talladega. 500 miles makes up the distance for this afternoon's race. Of course, when we get to Talladega, it's pack racing track. The big one and the big wreck is always around the corner. Especially there in the final stages. But feel pretty good about the race today. Just to kind of look at some stuff, kind of looking at it, one guy I like as far as an outright for today would be Brad Keselowski. He's right there in the middle of the, this is the second out of 3 races in the round of 12 here at Talladega today. We'll finish it up at the Charlotte Roval next week, but for the next cut. But this is definitely going to be a good opportunity for the Penske cars of Joey Logano as well as Brad Keselowski to capture victory and secure that spot into the next round of the playoffs. So, between the two, Joey's a co-favorite at plus 1,000, but Brad's at plus 1,100. I could see either of them winning. I know a lot of people are going to probably look towards Ryan Blaney. He's won the last 2 races here at Talladega, but with him already being cut out of the playoffs, I see him being one to kind of help one of these teammates out to get across the finish line first and all that good stuff. So I would lean towards Brad Keselowski as an outright. I've got my favorites over in my premium area, but I think I can see Brad winning this afternoon. So kind of moving on, another bet I like. I like Alex Bowman, the top 5 at plus 295 there for Hendrick Motorsports. Another big one, this is going to be one kind of off the board, but I think it's got a solid chance, is Corey LaJoie to top 10 at plus 430. It's over on FanDuel. LaJoie, he's got one top 10 between Daytona and Talladega here over the last back actually earlier this year, when they had that big wreck with Ryan Newman. He finished like 6th or 7th or 8th in that race. And so I know Corey LaJoie, he's not got a ride next year. He's going to be out of this 32 car. I definitely see him, want to do everything he can to finish as best he can to show he's still, is vying for a ride next year. So taking a shot on him, top 10 plus 430, I'm all about it. And one other head-to-head matchup I like, so Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Minus 115 over William Byron. Since Byron's been part of the Cup Series, it's race 5 times between Talladega and Daytona. And Stenhouse has won 4 out of those 5 matchups. Stenhouse is one of the best pack racing drivers out there. He's called plate racing, no longer racing restrictor plates, but Stenhouse has been one of the best between Daytona and Talladega. And, I think that right there is, as long as Stenhouse doesn't get caught up in the big wreck, I think Stenhouse has a real good shot over William Byron this afternoon. But other than that,
that's the Tennessee state flag, is what that is. That's what flag that is. It's the flag of the state of Tennessee.
That's right. But anyway, that's all I got. Like right away for Talladega today, Mitch, and
You got any NFL? Want to give us a side little NFL pick for us? Just say humorous.
I have some set up over in the premium area, but
how about a freebie?
2 seconds.
Let's put Jeff on the
spot.
spot.
I wasn't ready for NFL. I think I know this is probably not going to be popular amongst bettors. Maybe it will be, but later on this afternoon, Raiders Bills out there in Las Vegas. Seeing that line kind of move back and forth, 3.5, then 2.5, kind of seeing it move. It's interesting. It's a hard side to pick, but I'd lean towards the Bills right now, but I could easily see the Raiders covering, So
what's your pick?
My pick would be the Bills at, -3.
All right, thanks, Jeff.
That's all.
All right, thanks for joining us. That was Jeff Jeter with an indifferent call on the Raiders-Bills game and some NASCAR. But, of course, Jeff's here trading paint with us, usually most weekends. And, of course, he's also on Fridays, usually on the drive-thru at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on our YouTube channels. Thanks for joining us, Jeff. We will see you next week. Where are we racing next week?
We got the Charlotte Roval next week at the road course inside the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Truck Series will not be racing next weekend, so it's just going to be Xfinity and Cup Series. Cup Series will be the cutoff for the round of 12 next week. So big happenings coming up here in the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs next week.
I'm on the edge of my seat. All right, thanks, Jeff. We're going to bring the guys back in. We got Brian, Chris, and Rod. We're going to go through the NFL card, kind of like what we do every single week. It's not kind of like what we do. It is what we do every single week. So let's just, without further ado, let's do it. Let's see what we got. We'll go start at the beginning, and we'll finish at the end. Actually, good method. See who's awake and who's not. Brian, we got the Washington football team hosting the Ravens. This line has moved from 12.5 to 14.5, right through a key number. Ravens on a short week, back-to-back road games.
Ton of points to give the Washington Redskins at home, but I just,
Washington football team.
I just Ravens are having a bad taste in their mouth from that Sunday night loss. I just see them just manhandling the Redskins here. It's just a lean, but if I had to take the game, it'd be the Ravens playing the points.
They're just The Ravens really know how to beat up the bad teams. Chris, you with us?
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure this one out myself. Because I was on the Washington football team earlier in the week, but I'm just having a hard time going against the Ravens. I think I'm going to change course and go with the Ravens.
Rod, how about you? Muted. How about now?
Blowout city. Give me the Ravens here. I think they beat up this Washington football team.
We got the Saints and the Lions. I take the Lions about once every 4 or 5 years. This is that once. I just think this is a bad spot for the Saints. The Saints just don't look good this year. They seem super one-dimensional on offense with Kamara and nobody else. They could use a tight end. Didn't the Browns didn't Njoku want out of Cleveland, but then he got injured, right? But it's like, man, why don't the Saints go after him? That's a guy that maybe would fit, in this team, because the Saints have all sorts of problems without Michael Thomas in there. Drew Brees always does better with a good tight end. I couldn't even tell you who the tight end is. Brian's a fantasy player, so he could probably tell you. But anyways,
Hawkinson was the Lions tight end.
No, the Saints. The Saints.
Oh, I don't know.
Drew Brees is on the Saints, so I was referring to his
Jared Cook.
Jared Cook, see, and he's a good one. He's a good one, so they just need another one. Hawkinson, I think, has been a little bit of a bust for the Lions. Go ahead, Brian. What do you think?
In this game, if you look at the money on the over-under, it's about 50-50, but the big bettors are back in the under here, and you can see the under moving from – it opened, I think, at 56. I think it's at 53.5. I'm going under here. I think the Lions have a good defensive effort. I think the Saints – I like the Saints' defense. That's my fantasy defense. Under here.
Chris?
Yeah, as much as Michael Thomas being out's hurt the Saints. Jared Cook's out for the Saints too today, as well as Marshawn Lattimore on the defense. I just think there's too many injuries. I'm going to take the Lions and the points here.
Saints secondary's been lousy also. Well, Troutman's not that good either. I got news for you. He's another overrated guy. It's like tight end seems to have the most overrated guys coming out of college. I mean, it's a very specific position where it's like you have the blocking tight ends and you have the receiving tight ends. It's rare that you have a guy that can do really both to superlative level. It's rare. Most of them, most of the ones that are wide receiver types are marginal blockers. You can get by with them. They're like chip blockers, but it's rare that you get a Gronk. Rare. Rod, what do you think?
For me, this one, I like the under. His injuries, I think offense is going to be, I don't think we're going to see a shootout here, that's for sure. Give me the under, 53.5.
I mean, Drew Brees had, Jimmy Graham, made him look really good. He's had, you could see, throughout Drew Brees' career, you can see the guys that have made him look better, and it's kind of like he needs those pieces. Even in San Diego, he needed those pieces. He even said when they let Sproles go, he's like, I lost my security blanket in San Diego. Tampa Bay against the Chargers, Tom Brady is starting to look like Tom Brady again, and that's bad news for everybody else because he's surgical, right, when he gets into that Tom Brady mode. And Anthony Lynn could be one of the worst decision makers as a head coach out there. I don't know about his head coaching style from start to finish. I mean, the Chargers 2 years ago were competitive. Last year, they were dumpster fire. But I still can't get past the decision against the Chiefs. I struggle with it. I personally struggle with it. I stay awake at night just wondering how he makes that decision. But I don't know. Tom Brady, when he's Tom Brady, is just, and you're on the other side of it. It's just not. There's nothing fun about it. We've all been on the other side of Tom Brady carving up a defense. We've all been there. I don't care who you are. Nothing fun about it. Brian, what are you thinking here?
The money in this one, again, is close to 50-50, but big bettors are back in the San Diego Chargers from what I can see. And
It's
maybe
Los
the Chargers
Angeles
are one of those
Chargers.
teams that you like when you're getting points, but they're not good as favorites like we saw last week. So I'm a small bet here. Chargers, $50.
Chris?
Yeah, I'm gonna go the other way. I originally liked the Chargers, but you still got Melvin Ingram out indefinitely with a knee injury. Chris Harris Jr. That's a lot of injury on the defense to be dealing against Tom Brady. I'll take the Bucks here. I'll lay the touchdown.
It's odd that they even last year, right when Bosa got in the lineup, they were like, oh, he's their best defensive player. No, Melvin Ingram is their best defensive player. It's not even close. So Bosa's a nice thing to have there. He has the potential to be very good. Melvin Ingram is clearly their best player. I mean, probably on the team. He's probably the best player on the entire team. Rod?
For me in this one here, I gotta go with. I'm gonna go with Brady to get the win and cover. Take the Bucks.
We got the Panthers against the Cardinals. The Cardinals lost to the Lions last week. Pause. The Cardinals lost at home to the Lions last week. Now they go all the way across country to Carolina. Coach Rule, I think this is one of those coaches where it's like you got to stay the course and buy into the system. And I think the guys are buying into the system. And now it's just a matter of staying the course and how long it's going to take this guy to build. At Baylor, he was known for being in a lot of close games and having his team in position to win late. So anytime he's getting points, you have to kind of worry about it, especially against a team like the Cardinals, who now we've seen their vulnerability. Brian?
Yeah, we're seeing a ton of action going in on the over here, and this line's only moved about a half a point. I see the offense is struggling for both teams here. Arizona definitely got to be motivated to do better than they did last week, but I think overall Arizona is just overrated a little bit. I don't know if Kyle Murray is going to be the guy this year, but the under in this one's the way I'm going.
How about you, Chris?
Yeah, I'm still going to take Arizona here, even on the road. I just like that they're still a more complete team than what Carolina's fielding right now without McCaffrey in the lineup, and he's a big part of their offense. I know he's not one player doesn't make a whole team, but it's a big part of it. And, I think Arizona does enough to get the win here.
Didn't last week. Rod?
Yeah.
For me, this one, I like the under. Give me the under 51.5. And I don't think we're going to get enough points to go over that.
Got the Bengals and the Jaguars. I think the Joe Burrow bandwagon is getting a little heavy. It's like this team drafted first last year, So all of a sudden you're favored in a game to win a football game. It's like they didn't win that many games. So when it goes to the probability factor here, you got to figure this one might be off the meter. Brian, do you think Joe Burrow and the Bengals finally get into the win column this week against a well-rested Jaguars team?
No, I mean, early in the week I had the Bengals circled, but as the week has gone on, I've changed my mind. I think the Jaguars are one of those teams you like to back when they're not expected to win, and I think they're a better team than the Bengals, so I'm going to take the Jags, take the points, and also a little money line action.
The money line, I think, is plus 110. Chris?
Yeah, I think you might as well take the money line here because, it could finish at 17-16 or something like that, but I'll still take the Jaguars on the money line. I think they're the better team for what it's worth. And
what is it worth, Chris?
Yeah. Plus 110 apparently.
Rod, what is it worth?
I'm gonna go the other way. I'm gonna take the Bengals. Joe Burrow gets the first win here today. The Jaguars have looked god awful. They started off the year good. Their last two games have not looked good. I'll take the Bengals here. I think they get the win.
We got the Texans up against the Vikings. This is an odd one. neither of these teams have won a game. They've both played pretty tough schedules, and they both have been in the games, except I guess that Texans game against the Chiefs. They were never really in it, but they tried to backdoor, but that didn't even work out for them. The Vikings, some big problems here, big problems. These are the type of games and the type of things that are happening with the Vikings and not winning at home and losing to the Packers and things like that. These are the things that get head coaches fired. Ryan?
The Vikings were a team that I removed from my premium playlist this morning. I liked them all week, but I still like them as we're talking right now, but not to the level. I think the Vikings, I think they're going to win this game in Houston. I just don't like the Texans, and I think Dalvin Cook has a good game.
I think this one stays within the number. Chris?
Yeah, I'm gonna take the under here. I think the total's gonna come sniffing close to 53.5, but I see it finishing around 51 or 52. So give me the under here.
And Rod.
For me, both of these teams have played way better than what their record shows. That's for sure. Give me the Texans here at home. I'll take the Texans to beat the Vikings.
Yeah, I think the Texans win the game. I think this one is going to be pretty tight. It's like that hook is the hook does not factor as much as people think in the NFL or in college football. But this is one of those games where it absolutely could.
I think it's a field goal game. Either
yeah,
way,
you definitely want the hook in this one, or if you're on the other side, you rarely hear me say this, buy that half a point. It's like you don't want that hook in there. So the Dolphins against the Seahawks, you guys know I grew up in the stands of the Orange Bowl. Dolphins season ticket holder my whole life. My father got season tickets the day the team started, and they've been a dumpster fire for the better part of that. But I was there for the perfect season, so I'm still good, right? It's like I was in the crowd for the 72 games, so I'm still good. But I would love to see a playoff team. Unfortunately, we're going to see a playoff team in this one, but it's the other team who I think is looking like maybe the best team right now. These are the games where the Dolphins get slaughtered. These are those games. And Fitzmagic, whatever, this is the game where we probably see Tua come in the third quarter because he has no chance against this Seattle team. This Seattle team is a different breed. They're going to slaughter the Dolphins here. Brian?
So you don't think the Heat's going to make any much of a difference? It's going to be feels like 95 on the field. We have a long plane trip for Seattle going to Miami.
I've been to Seattle, Miami games. Trust me, probably half the Seahawks team is from Miami.
I think you're going to see a slow start from Seattle, and when it all comes down to it, I think it creeps under the number. I see a lot of action on the over. I kind of like the under here.
It'd be interesting to look at the Seahawks roster and see how many of those players are actually from Miami, because I know they have a ton of Hurricanes on that team. But it's like, I bet you half their roster is from Miami. They have like more Florida guys on their team than anybody. So I think the Heat here doesn't factor. And I believe me, I sat in those 1 o'clock games where you get it, where when they pass the soda down the aisle, the ice is already melted by the time it gets to you. It's so damn hot. And then it's like, it's cooking hot. But I don't think it matters in this one, because what we have here is a good old-fashioned mismatch of epic proportions. I think we have a team that's on the way against a team that's there. And, I've been wrong before, that's for sure. Yesterday. I was wrong yesterday. So, I could be wrong here. Chris, what do you think?
Yeah, I still haven't wavered from our video pick. I still like the Seahawks laying the points here. I just think Russell Wilson's a man on a mission right now, and he's just playing out of his mind. And yeah. I think this could be the game where we see a little bit of Tua coming into the game.
We've seen the Dolphins.
So I'll lay the points with Seattle.
We've seen the Dolphins hang tough in games, and we've seen them get shellacked under Flores. And this is a shellac. Rod, What do you think?
Yeah. I may be wearing a Dolphins hat, but I agree. The Seahawks are going to run them over here today. Heat or no heat.
This is a shellacking. You got the Cowboys against the Browns. Brian?
I think this is my best free pick I'm giving out today, guys. Get on the Cleveland Browns. I think this is a field goal game either way. Browns have figured out what their team is, and that's running the football. Dallas was a team I thought would go to the Super Bowl at the beginning of the year, but boy, they got problems. Give me the Browns plus the points.
Chris?
I never thought I'd say this, but I agree. I've said this before, but I agree with Brian. I'm going to take the Cleveland Browns and the points. Dallas should be 0-3 right now. If it's not for a lucky bounce, they should be 0-3 right now. And like Brian said, Cleveland's starting to figure out where their strength is, and that's going to be running the ball and taking it out of Baker Mayfield's hands.
I thought their strength was playing the Bengals. But anyways, Rod?
Call me square. I'm going to take the Cowboys to get the win and cover today. At home. They play better at home. I think they come to play today. Give me the Cowboys.
Yeah, take the Cowboys straight to the bank in this one. So if you go back, fine. The Browns beat the Washington football team at home and the Bengals at home. Okay, that's their 2 wins. Go back about a year ago, a little bit more than a year ago. Okay, the Browns had a head coach opening, and Mike McCarthy was the first person that they interviewed. Okay, and they told Mike, it's your job, but Freddie Kitchens is going to be the offensive coordinator, not you. He told them to go screw themselves, and he walked out the door. I think today he's going to show them why he should be the offensive coordinator. I think he puts 100 on these guys. I think he puts 100 on them. I really do. I think this is one of those games where they're up late and it might be within the number might be in sight or whatever, and Dallas goes to touch, they throw deep because he hates their guts for insulting him like that. This is a personal thing. And when you have those personal things, I've been at these personal games. I'm a huge college football fan, right? And I've come from the state where everything's personal, I mean, everything's personal in our state. Where I'm from. Go to a Miami, Florida State game or a Miami, Florida game and say it's not personal. You go to a Miami, Florida game, and this is a game I was at. Howard Schnellenberger called timeout with 3 seconds left, up 28-3 to kick another field goal. I mean, that's this type of game that McCarthy, believe me, statement game. This is a statement game for him. And he has got an axe to grind. And it's with these guys. And it just so happens it's at home. And it just so happens Baker Mayfield is his quarterback. This one could be 65-0.
3-point win for the Cowboys if they're lucky.
No chance. They have no chance. No chance.
Brian, yeah, happy. I'll take your hat bet today. I'll take the Cowboys. You want the Browns? Go ahead. Had a hat?
You give me 4 points?
I'll give you the 4 points, yeah.
All right, deal. You got it, Rob.
Yeah. I love the axe to grind games. I love them. I love that angle, man, because believe me, it's like I've been at the axe to grind games, man. I've been at it, and it's like Jimmy Johnson was a big axe to grind guy. Big axe to grind guy too, man. There was like that game at Arkansas. Oh my God! When they didn't even know he was an Arkansas alumni. He was the captain of Arkansas. It was like he was available for a head coaching job. They didn't even offer him an interview, and then he takes the Miami job the same year, and he takes the Miami job because Arkansas is the second game on the schedule. He's just like, it's 49-0, and he's throwing deep. It's like that's what happens in the axe to grind games, and it'll be interesting to see because McCarthy is an offensive guy, and it's like he didn't take that job because they said basically your offense isn't good enough for us. That is exactly what happened in Cleveland. He was the first guy they interviewed. He was the first guy they offered the job, and that was the stipulation. we shall see how it plays out on the football field today, and if Mike McCarthy has that in the back of his mind, which I guess is he does. We got the Rams against the Giants. You want to talk about a dumpster fire? This thing went from 9 to 13.5. I'm surprised it hasn't gone through the 2 touchdowns yet. Brian?
I'm not rushing out to bet this game, but I think the Rams are just head and shoulders against the Giants, and I don't think they're adverse to blowing anybody out. I'll take the Rams here and lay the points.
They're showing on ESPN right now the Russell Wilson versus Ryan Fitzpatrick matchup. Russell Wilson, 14 touchdown passes, 430.7 yards per game. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
They aren't going to win every game, the Seahawks.
They're not going to win every game, but the very good NFL teams, the ones that go to the Super Bowl, are in that 13-3, 14-2 range, and those 2 to 3 losses are usually against the top tier competition. You know, it's rare that you see like a team that goes to the Super Bowl where they lose to like the 0-15 team. The only time we've seen that in recent history was the Bears. The last time they went, they lost to Miami at home, who was winless, and they went to the Super Bowl. They lost. The Bears did, but that was the Rex Grossman team. Chris, speaking of 0-16, Daniel Jones leads his Custer, leading his troops into battle today.
Brian says he's not running to the window. I'm running after this like it's the ice cream truck. I'm going out to minus 16.5 on this one if I can. This is a blowout all day. I'll take the Rams.
How many Miami Hurricanes does Seattle have on the roster? Several, man. Greg Olson. They have Travis Homer, DJ Dallas. They got a bunch.
Greg Olson's a little long in the tooth, though.
Right, but he's
how much of a factor is he?
Well, I don't know. He's got a few touchdowns this season. Prop bet. Greg Olson to win the score first touchdown.
First touchdown bet. He'll score 2 touchdowns if they watch. Because I'm talking crap on him.
Of course. That's the way it always works. Just like Baker Mayfield will have a career day.
No, he doesn't have to have a career day. The 2 running backs will probably both run over 100 yards. So we'll see.
Chris?
Yeah, give me the Rams in a blowout.
Rod?
Give me the Giants plus 13. Get a backdoor cover that nobody sees.
I was hoping for a consensus, Rod. You ruined it.
I ruined it, yeah.
Las Vegas Raiders against the Buffalo Bills. The last time we were in Vegas, it was a laundry party against the opposition. We're going to find out today, though, just how bad the NFL wants to be gigantic in Vegas. You know, we're going to see if it was just like the opening of the stadium that they wanted that to happen, or if you know, it was just if anyone knows anyone on the Bills, if they could put $20 on 6 and $20 on 11 for me on the roulette wheel, that would be awesome. I talked to, oddly enough, someone posted like someone from my high school posted like an article from the newspaper from one of our football games when I was in high school. And our old coach reached out to me, you know, and I hadn't talked to him in since I left high school. Reached out to me, you know, he said, I saw your video, and he said I've seen a couple of your videos, and he said, I really like the one where you talked about swinging for the fences, you know, where you got to swing for the fences and go for the home run, you know, and to be successful. He said, because that's the truth, you know. And but he also said that we were up against like a team that was like much tougher than us, much bigger than us. I went to a small school, so we'd play against some of the big schools, and we would be that opponent, you know, so they could have us for their alumni day, you know, at their place, you know, on the schedule for, you know, for a few years or whatever. And we had one of those schools, and it was at our school, and they were from Providence, so it's like a 4-hour bus ride that it takes. So when that happens, it's like that school provides the other team lunch. So what they did is they gave them chicken wings, and with like hot sauce and everything. And these guys were so much better athletes than us, but they were so bloated. It's like we beat them, and it was like one of the biggest upsets ever. So. You never know what's going to happen in one of these games. And maybe the Bills were out partying last night in Vegas. I remember hearing stories when I lived in New York that Michael Jordan would be at the craps table in Atlantic City the night before games. Anyways, I miss Vegas, man. I miss going. I do. Me and my wife were talking about it last night. Just feels weird. It's like I don't need to go as much as I went, but it's like it's nice to get off the island once in a while. We have extra larges in the in the shirts. We do not have any 2XLs, but we have extra large. We got plenty of them. What do you think? What do you guys think in this one? Did we do this game?
We didn't do Raiders and Bills yet.
All right.
Are we ready?
Yeah.
All right. In this game, this is my second favorite free pick. I like the Raiders today. Bills coming off of a big emotional comeback win. I think they come out a little flat against the Raiders. And I'm going to take the 3, but if I can get 3.5, I'll grab that too. I think it's a field goal game here.
Chris Ruffalo.
Yeah, I'm going to take the over here. I think we see a higher scoring game. I don't know if we see one that requires a 28-3 comeback like Buffalo had happen against them last week, but I can see this one going over 54 points. So give me the over.
Rod?
Give me the Raiders here. I like the Raiders. Give me the Raiders here at home.
So the latest news is the Patriots game will be tomorrow against the Chiefs. So will it be a doubleheader on Monday Night Football? How are they going to do that?
Yeah. Split the games. One early, one later, like they've done before on Monday night.
Wow. No, they're going to run against each other.
Really?
7:05 p.m. on CBS.
Well, we'll see if they actually play that game. It wouldn't shock me if they change their mind.
I
All it
thought for
takes
sure it
is
was going
another
to move to
positive
Tuesday.
test.
My favorite craps bet is $25 hard 4 or hard 10, and then when it hits, parlay it. That's my favorite bet. I've hit it a ton of times. People freak out. They're like, they see that stack of chips, up there. Oh, my pen just exploded. You see that? Anyways, I've hit it a ton of times, like an ungodly amount of times. The hard 4 and hard 10 parlay. I've hit it a lot of times.
At least the pen didn't shoot you in the eye.
And I could sue Bic or whoever, the paper mate. Don't buy these pens. I think the Raiders win money line here. I think the NFL really wants to succeed in Vegas. They love the whole thing, the whole Vegas idea, the betting on the NFL, it's just a big loving. Got the Colts and the Bears.
Go Bears.
The Bears are home dogs here. Nick Foles, we've seen him as a starter in the Super Bowl. We've seen him, as a good reliever. But now it's kind of his team. It was kind of like the moment they're waiting for, kind of like you're waiting for Tua to take over, and you're kind of waiting this. Nick Foles, I don't know. He was a guy that he was never really that good in college, and then he was like really hyped in the NFL, and then it was kind of like he was always a flop, and then he had that big Super Bowl, and then we saw him last week against, the Falcons, who, I mean, if Foles didn't get it done for the Bears, the Falcons would have found a way to do it for him, which they did, anyway. Brian, what do you think?
Oh, boy, I had the Bears circled for most of the week. Then I flip-flopped yesterday. I was thinking, maybe the Colts are a play, but I'm back on the Bears today. I If I'm getting points here with the Bears, I think it's a coin toss game, and for $50, I'm going to make it interesting. Take the Chicago Bears plus the points.
Chris?
Yeah, I'm on the Bears as well. I like that defense against Phillip Rivers, and I think Phillip Rivers is going to start making a couple mistakes this week. So give me the Bears.
And Rod.
I'll take the Bears on the money line here. They easily beat the Colts.
Oh, almost a consensus.
I've been on the Bears all week too, and it's like it just looks funny to me, you know.
It does look funny. I don't think the Colts should be a favorite here, but
right. And then to make it worse, the line's even gotten bigger.
Yeah.
Something looks funny to me, you know. It's like I don't like that. I don't like. It's like I've been on the Bears all week too, but I can't be on them now. It just looks funny to me. It's like I don't want to be like, oh man, I knew that looked funny. I hate that. Right? It's like, oh,
well, look, we thought that South Florida game looked funny yesterday, and it just finished right at the number.
Right,
so.
Looked funny. It was a push. Nothing funny about that.
This one's got a hook. Tough to get a push.
No, I'm seeing 3. I'm seeing 3s out there on this thing.
Certain books you can get the hook.
I'm showing 3s mostly though. Let's see what we got.
It's not a game I'm selling the farm to bet.
Do you have a farm to sell?
If I did, I wouldn't be selling it.
All right, just checking. It's like because
I'm not going to bet any hats on this game.
I mean, if you do sell a farm to put on the game, there's nothing we can do to help you. You understand that? We only have X amount of dollars in the budget. Got the San Francisco 49ers against the Philadelphia Eagles Sunday night football. It's kind of like they put this one up against the basketball game and said, it's like they can't opt out, you know, right now in the NFL ones. It's like they're probably like, damn, can't we just trade this game for the Chiefs Patriots tomorrow?
I think they're both going to be blowouts here. I think the Niners are just going to take it to the injury riddle the Eagles here. I don't see the Eagles with much hope. Look for the Niners to win by 17. Oh, Kittle to score the first touchdown tonight in Sunday Night Football. Pays out plus 650 for me.
Chris?
I'm going to lean towards the Eagles here. I think the line's swelling up to 9 kind of makes it. I like to do a touchdown, but 9 just seems like a little bit much for me. I can see this one finishing like 26-17 right on the number. So give me the points with the Eagles here.
Here's a comment, and we get comments like this all the time. The football of all sports, you know, really isn't about one guy or the other guy. You know, it is the total team sport, you know, and the difference between Foles and Rivers has no bigger bearing on the game than the left tackle against the defensive end. It doesn't, you know, we've seen it a million times. We've seen bad quarterbacks win Super Bowls. It happens. Mark Rippon, Trent Dilfer, all Super Bowls. Eli Manning's got a couple too. Do or die for the Eagles? I would say die. You guys, who do you think is going to be the Rod? What do you think of this one?
I think that's too many points. Give me the Eagles here. The Eagles defense can stop the 49ers, or at least slow them down with all their injuries as well. Yeah, give me the Eagles and the points.
So, the odds for the first head coach fired. Gase, obviously the clear favorite here at plus 150. That's a really short price, you know, for a coach getting fired. But the Jets are not. They're not in-season firers. They generally do not fire the head coach within the season. which makes Dan Quinn an interesting choice here in Atlanta for the first head coach fired. Mike Zimmer, I think, is moving up the charts. I think he's hot. Like they would have the hot around Mike Zimmer, right?
I think O'Brien gets fired first.
Anthony Lynn. Bill O'Brien is a little longer odds. Vic Fangio, who I think you got to give him a pass. Matt Nagy and Frank Reich. I don't think those guys are going anywhere. What do you guys think of... what do you guys think here? Any...
I mean, for me, I might put some action today on Mike Zimmer. I think a loss to Houston if that happens.
Matt Patricia's plus 350, so today would probably be a must-win for him.
Yeah. I think Zimmer. I think Zimmer's on even a hotter seat than Gase, personally.
Yeah, Zimmer and Lynn are both plus 1,800. Good money on those guys but they have to go first. Not to be fired, but to be to be first.
Yeah.
I just don't. Gase.
Yeah.
I think people underestimate how often the Jets fire in season, and they just don't. The Jets are not in-season firers. In-season firing of head coaches is not as common as people think. Normally, it's the end of the season, and the Jets are end-of-season guys. They always have been. It would take something really special. I mean, obviously he's not going to get fired this week, right? Or else he would have already been fired. They would have fired him Friday morning.
Yeah.
And after that debacle, Brian had a lot of faith in him, but I mean, after that debacle, you would think that that had. I mean, losing at home on a night game, and then you allow your defensive coordinator to basically embarrass the organization. You would think that would be called for a firing, right? I mean, was anyone not embarrassed for them? What they were doing at the end of the game there? How about Doug Peterson?
Yeah.
Certainly.
He has a lot of injuries there. I don't know. All the wide receivers are injured. The tackle, now Peters is injured reserve.
Well, now he is.
Well,
what about before? What about the Washington game? What about that, the first game of the season? What's his excuse for that?
I think when you win a Super Bowl, you have a little leeway. So he probably has
doesn't give you ultimate leeway. Ask Chuck Noll. He had 4 of them. Don Shula, he had 2 of them. Ask, there's been a lot of Super Bowl winning head coach. Tom Coughlin had 2 of them.
I think the general manager gets fired for the Eagles. That's what I would do. But.
Well, sometimes they say you can't fire the whole team. I think the Eagles should try and look into that option. You can't fire the team. Well,
but you can try.
Let's look into this a little more. All right. Well, that gets us to the long-awaited parlay section of the show. Of course, if you're watching, be sure to smash the like button. Takes you half a second. Helps us a ton. It's what keeps these shows free. YouTube offers us the opportunity to offer these shows as a subscription service, which we haven't chosen to do. All we ask is that you hit the like button. I don't think it's a lot to ask. How does it help us a ton? I always say it helps us a ton. It helps a ton because it helps promote our channel. YouTube looks at the channels that get a lot of likes, and those are the videos and shows that it promotes. So it does help us a ton. We went over that game already. I love the guy that shows up right after you talk about a game and asks about the same game.
That guy needs to check in after the show for the dude that loads in the time frames of when to find the picks, and he can find what he wants. Then.
Stanley Z.
Yep.
I sent Stanley a T-shirt. Probably takes about 6 months these days to get to Canada. Chris, don't doink the extra point. Who do you like here in your parlay?
I give you a double doink. Give me the Heat plus the points. Seattle laying the points, and the Rams laying the points.
Rod?
For me, I'm going Raiders money line, Bears money line, and Dallas minus the points. I'm also going to take Keelan Cole to score a touchdown for the Jags plus 350, and Scotty Miller to score a touchdown for the Bucks plus 250.
A lot of money coming in on the Browns. Boy, has there been a team that the Sharps have been more wrong about over the last 10 years than the Cleveland Browns? I don't think so.
Oh, wow.
I'm not even close.
How? I see the public pounding the Cowboys, but
I see it the other way.
The Sharps always start the year and they're like, "Woo, the Browns, the Browns!"
Yep, they're
the
always
Browns.
all over the Browns. Always, man.
It's like, what?
I mean, the Cowboys are a public team, so when you consider the public pounding.
Well, I'm seeing 30% of the bets on the Browns, 16% of the money. That's what I see. But whatever.
I showed different numbers, but that's okay.
Doesn't matter. We'll see who wins or covers or whatever.
Yeah, it's nothing.
My parlay is the Browns, the Raiders, and the Jaguars. And make sure you guys put some extra money on the Browns.
All right. I'll go with the Raiders money line, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the Detroit Lions money line. Those are my three. So Raiders money line, Lions money line, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We went over this game already. I'm sorry, but we're not going to stop the show and repeat. Something that we already went over. You'll have to watch the replay. We went over every game, and the fact that you just show up doesn't mean that it becomes your personal. We become your personal pick bitches today. It's not going to happen, but we do love you and appreciate you. Be sure to smash the like button. Anyways, thanks guys for joining us. It was another fun show. We got about an hour and 15 minutes before kickoff. I'll be live at halftime of the early games. If I could rally one of these guys, or if I have the time or the wherewithal at the time, we will grab them. But yeah, I know the guys are always around. It's just a matter of if I have my shit together long enough. Because normally it's like, oh my god, it's halftime. I got to, have to run and throw it together thing, and that's more the issue than anything else.
We haven't got baseball back tomorrow.
But, all right, but maybe it'll be me and Rod then for halftime. NFL today. All right.
Yeah, I got the deck done yesterday, so.
Yep. And of course I'll be live for the night game. Tonight for the Eagles game. I will be live. And probably maybe it'll be halftime of both games of the Heat game and that one. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm definitely live for that one. Rod will be with me at 1 o'clock halftimes. We'll see you then. Have a great day, everyone. Enjoy the football, and of course, we'll try and act more professional tomorrow. He said he wanted to be here, so we said sure, but he's not here. But that's all right. We'll continue to go over the games. We've got Houston and Minnesota at the half. The Texans -3 for the second half. I don't see how they're -3 against anyone. They got absolutely bludgeoned in that first half. The Vikings just pushing them around, really doing a number on them. Meanwhile, in Cincinnati, the Jags on the 1 foot line here. 4th down with 6 seconds left to go in the half. Will they go for the touchdown? It looks like they're bringing the kicker in here with 6 seconds to go to the half with the lead. Like I said, still waiting for Rod here, so we'll see. We'll see if he comes or not. Hi to everyone who's joining us for halftime. Be sure to smash the like button. I believe so. Of course, the Lions getting out to a big lead and then blowing it in that game. And the Jags have taken the lead. It is 13-10 as they'll go into the half. Right now, the only halftime line that I see is the Texans and the Vikings. The Texans are -3 in that game. We'll refresh, though, and see what we got. I'm sure we'll have some ads quickly. As certainly some action as Seattle, with 6 seconds left to go in the half, also ready to punch one in here against Miami. Be interesting to see if Pete Carroll decides to go for the touchdown or to go for the early field goal. I think they do. It's been dominant. I think what we've seen is, a lot of turnovers here. Well, we haven't seen a second half line on that one yet. I think the Cowboys are, the issue here has been the turnovers in that Cowboy game. 2 turnovers, 14 points. I don't think so. The Bucs are getting physically handled in that one. I mean, it is just a physical beatdown. Well, we're going to see if there's value or not. We're going to see what the defense for the Cowboys has been terrible. I don't know because I can't see the second half line because they're not at the half yet. So it's impossible for me to make that pick. 49 in the second half, that is a lot of points for a half of football. Of course, we're looking at the second half bets. Let's see what we got. We'll refresh. We're still waiting for Rod. I do not see him. We'll bring him in once he gets here. We got the Cardinals -4.5 against the Panthers. I really like the Panthers in this one. Seattle goes for the touchdown here and gets it with 3 seconds left to go in the half to make it it's 16-9. They'll go for the 1 point extra point to make it 17-9 if they convert it, which they do. And it's 17-9 Seattle, a big touchdown right before the half after Miami had made it 10-9. And that's just how good Seattle is this year. Of course, the Cowboys defense just porous here against the Browns, paying the price on those penalties. We've got the Ravens -6 in the second half against the Washington football team. I like that a lot. I like it a lot. The Panthers +220 on the money line here in the second half against the Cardinals. I like that a lot as well. The Panthers, if you've been watching this game, are just physically beating up on the Cardinals. It is a physical pounding that they're putting on them. It says waiting on host. What is it? What do I have to do as the host? This is on. I'll try a different link. Try again. Try that one. If not, we'll Skype you in. It's always an option. You keep asking about the Miami Seattle game when the line is just coming out now. It's I'm not a magician. It's like I can only do what I can do. I can't make lines magically appear. We got the Jaguars +0.5 against the Bengals. I like that as well. The one I really like though is the Panthers, which is now +210 money line for the second half. So we'll give Rod another second. If not, we're just going to Skype him in. Let me see what it's when I try and bring myself in. Yeah, it's working for me. Works for me, which is odd. So it must be something on Rod's end on that. Worked for me in Safari. Anyways, we'll bring Rod in by Skype then. See if Rod will answer us. And here he comes. See if Rod will answer us. Nope. You don't see him. And he hung up. Okay. Well, let's get back to the games then. We tried it. So the Texans still -3 here against the Vikings. I like the Vikings at the +10 or +3. I like the Seahawks -0.5. The over in that one is 27. I like the under all the way. Ravens -6.5. I like that. I like that. I like the Jags and the Panthers. See if it will let me do this. I did it. I actually did a parlay myself. All right, let's try Rod again. He said to ring him again. We will try it again. There he is. And let me see if I can bring him in. And I hear some grumbling, but
Yeah.
I do not see him.
Here, hold on.
Do not see Rod. So, anyways, I like the Ravens here -6.5. We'll give Rod a chance to figure out his camera, see if we can get it going here for Skype. But I like, in the lines that we've seen so far, the Panthers on the money line against the Cardinals. Now it's down to +205. The Jaguars on the money line against the Bengals. I like the Vikings +3. I also like them on the money line at +145. I like the Seahawks -0.5 at even money against the Dolphins, and the Ravens -6.5. And that's where we are. The Chargers up 24-7 over the Buccaneers. And the thing that's most surprising about that is the physical beating that Tom Brady is taking. I think we'll hang up with Rod and we'll give him another chance. See if we can get him in here. We'll give him one more try. We'll let him know we couldn't see him. Okay. Tampa Bay trash. I don't know about that. I think they're just getting physically beaten on. That's second half. This jerk. Cowboys total 74.5. That's an in-game. The total for the second half is 28.5. And a lot of pressure to the over. I like it too. I like the over as well. Saw 42 points in the first half. I'm gonna guess we see a ton in the second. Is that a team total? I can't tell. Lions, yeah, the Lions just fell apart. It was that interception in the end zone by Stafford, really, that was their undoing. I saw Seattle at -0.5. I still show them at -0.5. Show the Cardinals -6. I like the Panthers in that one. Jaguars +0.5. I like the Jaguars. I like that over 28.5 in the Browns Cowboys. I like the Seahawks -0.5 and the Ravens -6.5 big of the lines that I have right now. Minnesota Houston is already playing. All right, Rod is saying he's still working on getting on the show. I don't know how much time we're going to have once he gets here, but we'll try it. I don't even understand what you're talking about. Did anyone see it? I have no idea what that means, man. I think Dallas can come back here. I mean, it was 2 fumbles that really killed them. They need to make some stops. Dallas needs to make some stops. Is really what this comes down to. Houston looking to make a comeback, but it is not working as the Vikings. Well, actually, they stopped the Vikings here, so Vikings will be punting. The Panthers are coming back onto the field against the Cardinals. And the Buccaneers punting with 55 seconds left to go. So of these halftime games, I'm liking the of the halftime games, I'm liking the Panthers on the money line, the Jaguars on the money line, the Cowboys-Browns over, and the Cowboys -6.5. I like the Seahawks -0.5 and the Ravens -6.5. For those of you just tuning in. How do the Cards do first half? The Cardinals, they got pushed around and beaten up. It was a physical beating. Yeah, I like the over on that then, if it was 14 for the Seahawks. Oh, we got one more game ready to go to the half, and that will be it. And that is the Buccaneers and the Chargers. Everything is hanging pretty tight to where it was, except the Panthers were plus 220 on the money line for the second half. Now they are plus 205. The Jaguars plus 120 on the money line for the second half. The over still 28.5 in that Cowboys-Browns game. I like the Cowboys minus the 6.5 second half. I think that's the better bet there, actually. Seahawks -0.5 second half. Once the Dolphins go down, they're going to have to open up the offense. That's going to be bad news. Going to be really bad news against that Seattle defense. And the Ravens -6.5. This game is kicking off right now. The Ravens really beat up on the bad teams. And the Ravens, of course, receiving the second half kickoff. Well, they didn't receive it. It went out of the end zone. But of course, I'll be live tonight at the for the primetime game. Hopefully it's right in sync with the NBA game. How's my sound today? Everyone, I got a different microphone. So I know you guys hate it when I talk about the microphone, but anyways, I'm talking about it. There it is. The Bucs game, it's not halftime yet. But the Bucs ready to score here before the half. I mean, Tom Brady's Tom Brady, but he has been hit hard today. I think the sound has less pop to it than that other microphone. The other microphone, like when I said pick dogs, it had like a lot of pop. So I switched to this, the Heil PR40. Very fancy. Super fancy. Have you ever been to Utah? Nope. Yeah, Dallas, just the defense has been terrible. And then the 2 fumbles really is the difference in the game. The Browns have 14 points off turnovers. And the Panthers right out of the Gate rip off another long play against the Cardinals. They are really just pushing these guys around. I mean, they are just really pushing them around. And David Johnson trying to show that he's worth what they talk about. And it is a touchdown for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That looks like Mike Evans. Rod Zawacki is joining, but the show is over. Let's see what this says. Add right. There he is. Hey, Rod.
Hey.
Welcome to the show.
Nice.
Let me see what's up here on the sound, because you have your own sound now on here. Speak.
Hey.
Speak again.
Speak again.
All right, what's up, man? What do you think here for the second half? We got a few games still that haven't gone to the second half. What's the game you got your eye on here?
Give me 1 second here. The only one I seen it before.
Well, we got a lot of lines out because we're in the second half here of a lot of games. We've got still, well, the Panthers Cardinals is playing. Let's see what we have now. Right now, it's just the Cowboys and the Dolphins Seahawks are the only lines that are available. As Houston scores a touchdown there against the Vikings. The Panthers on the move with the ball, and the Bengals on the move here against the Panthers. Joe Mixon, a couple of good runs. That's Giovanni Bernard on that play. But, Rod, what are your thoughts? You got just 2 games here, plus we should have a line shortly on this Tampa Bay Chargers game, which goes to the half in about 22 seconds.
Yeah, and I think I would take Seattle second half. I think there were some drop balls there. I think they'll clean that up. I think they win the second half. I see that as a hit them or minus a half right now.
Straight. See, I can't hear you. Oh, that stinks.
No. Nope.
Yeah, Rod has an echo. It's like this. It's this sound thing. Huh. I guess I have to mute this and then bring him up through here. All right. Well, I tried it. I think it only works well if you don't have a soundboard, that individual sound thing, but that's okay. We'll use it to mute Bitler in the future. Anyways, so speak now. See if we can hear you. I don't hear you. That stinks. Oh, well. Let me see. I can try it again this way. Bring it down here. Try it now.
Hey.
How about now?
Now? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but you're probably going to have an echo. We'll have to figure this out another time.
Okay.
What do you like here? So you like the Seahawks? This game is kicked off now, so we've missed that one. Got Cowboys, Browns, and the Buccaneers. We should have a line shortly. 24-14 in that one. As the Bengals get on the board here, another touchdown, Joe Mixon, to make it 17-13. Well, 16-13 pending the extra point. And
I like Dallas the second half. I think they'll clean up the turnovers.
the Bucks are -7 is what I'm seeing in the comments for the second half. Yep, Bucks -7, and the total in this one is 22.5. The Chargers really hitting Tom Brady hard in this game. I mean, he is really taking a beating in the pocket as the Ravens just cruising down the field here against the Redskins. They really love to play against those bad teams. Seattle with the ball here against Miami moving. So what do you think here in this last one, the Bucks versus the Chargers?
I'll take the Bucks in the second half. I think they'll make a fight.
Gonna have to figure out a way to get your sound that I can hear it and that you don't echo through this thing. Not sure. I'll have to figure it out.
Well, yeah, something to do.
Yep. So I think I need to route your sound directly into this. If there's a way to do that.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. It's all new, and I'm not Mr. Gadget. But all right, well,
No,
No,
me
me
either.
either.
I had to Google to figure out how to allow Chrome to do allow the camera and mic.
but anyways, Seattle moving the football here on 1st and 10. Seem to be working it effectively. The Cowboys and Browns getting ready to kick it off. I'm going to go back and watch the second half of these games. I'll see everyone tonight. Rod, thanks for joining us for as brief it was. We'll see you tomorrow morning for our regular time slot, and we'll figure this out. We always do. Thanks, everyone. Be sure to smash the like button. Have a good second half. Let's make some money. I still got a 3-pack for tonight, so be sure to grab it.
Me too, still there.
Yeah.